Have you ever felt the thrill of diving into a brand new book only to find out that it wasn't the 5-star read you were hoping for? Or perhaps you've been in a reading slump, not quite finding that perfect book that resonates with you. We've all been there, but today we're on a quest to uncover the secrets behind finding those 5-star reads consistently. I'm going to share a technique for figuring out your reading tastes called the 5-star audit. I'll do it myself so you can see how it's done and then do it for your own reading taste too. A massive credit goes to Books and Lala, Meg with Books, and the Reading Robin for inspiring this video. Okay, so let's get to it. So first things first, what is the 5-star audit? Well, look at it like your own personal bookish detective mission where the clues lie in your past reading habits. It's a step-by-step process, so let's go through the steps next. Step number 1, grab your 5-star books. Start by gathering a list of books you've read that you've given 5 stars to. This could be from Goodreads, your reading journal, your personal collection, or just from your memory. Step 2, identify common themes. Look at your 5-star books and jot down recurring themes, genres, or elements. Are they mostly one genre? Do they feature particular character developments that you really like, or perhaps specific tropes? Step 3, reflect on the emotional impact. Think about how these books made you feel. Were you particularly emotionally invested? Did they make you laugh, cry, or just feel any particular emotion? Write that down. Step number 4, analyze the writing style. Consider the writing style of your top books. Do you lean towards lyrical prose, more simplistic and action-packed writing, or something else entirely? Step number 5, create your 5-star profile. Based on your findings, create a profile on your ideal book. This isn't set in stone, but it will serve as a guide for future reads. This is the fun part. Depending on how you like to access your notes or other files, this can be anything from something really simple to something really creative. I'm talking illustrated journal pages, spreadsheets, checklists, mind maps, whatever. Then, once you have this profile created, you can keep it to hand and take a little peek when you're deciding if a new book is worth reading or not. Now, I know this seems like homework, but trust me, it's worth it. When you have this tool to hand, making future reading decisions becomes a lot easier. Okay, so now we've been through the steps, I'm going to do it with you for my reading taste so we can see how it works on a practical level. Starting with step 1. Okay, I think I've got a really good mix of subgenres here. They're mostly fantasy or mythology, but I've got a historical fiction in there as well. So this should give me a well-rounded look at what my reading tastes have been to date, and these, of course, are all 5 stars. Okay, step 2 is identifying common themes, so I'm going to go through these, see what I find, and then I'll let you know. Okay, so one of the things that I found is that most of these have a woman protagonist, and I do prefer that viewpoint. I kind of always knew that. There's only a few that don't. And one of these doesn't really count because there's multiple perspectives in there, so there's only really 2 that don't, and even then it's kind of the male protagonist is kind of written with a feminine edge, so I like that. And actually, now I've just realized that these are all women authors, so I think I'm going to put that down as a thing that I like as well. And with all of these women protagonists, that generally means that the themes are like empowering women, a little bit of feminine rage, which I particularly like, especially in my mythology. But then there are other themes that I really like. Found family is my absolute favorite trope, and that features quite a lot throughout these. As does relationships in general, whether that's friends or lovers. I quite like the slow build of that and seeing how things turn out. Okay, so step 3 is reflecting on the emotional impact, so I will do that next. Okay, that one was quite easy. So I already said empowering, so I think that's going to heavily feature throughout. But then I also quite like an intense or gritty feeling book. So the Greek mythology retellings in particular, I really like it when they're kind of gritty and don't hold back with the themes in the book. But then a theme that I've noticed that I've really enjoyed more recently and that I've been giving 5-star books 5-star ratings is if they have like a cozy element to them. So like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, River Enchanted, they both have these cozy, homey elements that break up the main plot, and I really like those. Okay, step 4 is the writing style, and I in particular find this one pretty difficult because I don't really pay too much attention to the writing style, although I might find that I actually do. So I'll do that and then get back. Okay, so for the writing style, I've put really good flow. That's one of the things that I noticed that when I'm doing reviews for books that I've rated really highly is that it flows really well. There's not, it doesn't feel like it stops starting. I really, really like that. And if it flows, so it's quite quick, the writing style, I really like that. And then I've put that I like world building or descriptions, but I don't want them to last forever. I find that in an older style of fantasy, like high fantasy, I get kind of impatient with the descriptions of the world building in particular, or even character descriptions. Like I don't need that much. What I would rather have is that the descriptions themselves are shorter but still contain a good amount of information so you can grasp a character quickly and then the plot gets moving. So I find that in particular a lot of these do that really well. Emily Wilde does a really great job of that, as does the Greek mythology retellings. They have a lot of world building that they need to do, or at least setting establishment, and these in particular do a really good job. Clytemnestra's Bind does an amazing job, even though it's way more gritty and sticks maybe truer to the time period than some of the other Greek mythologies that I've read. It does an amazing job of doing really fast descriptions that still make you feel like you know that you're there, if that makes sense. Okay, step 5 is creating my 5-star profile. So using the notes that I've written down, I'm going to create a little table, but I might transfer this into my phone as just a checklist for future reference. But for now, a table will do. Okay, as I was writing, I actually refined it a little bit. So in the writing style, I actually like character-based world building. So the characters themselves kind of inform the world. I know that I really like that. And then for the emotion part, I've put the intense, gritty, and cozy. I like it when they're mixed together into one book. So now with this profile in hand, let's put it to the test. Okay, so I've picked a book from my TBR, which is Wayward by Amelia Hart, and to see if it matches my profile, I'm going to look on the story graph because they do a really good job of summarizing different points in the book. So let's start with the themes. So is this a woman author? Yes. Is it a woman protagonist? I think so. It looks like it maybe has 3 protagonists. Kate, Arthur, and Violet. So those are all women. Yes, it weaves together stories of 3 women, so that works. And then here in the description, it says that Amelia Hart's Wayward is an enthralling novel of female resilience and the transformative power of the natural world. So that sounds like I've got some feminine rage in there, and at least some empowerment. So that's good. It's also definitely fantasy, being a kind of witchy novel. And it looks like the pace is medium mostly, so that kind of fits with my writing style, flows well. In terms of the moods, it's got emotional and dark and mysterious and a little bit of hopeful, so that might work with my intense and gritty mix. I'm not sure about cozy. It probably doesn't have a lot of cozy, but that's fine. It also looks like it's character driven rather than plot driven, so to me that says that it might be more character focused than world building focused perhaps, so that fits well as well. And there's good character development too, as well as some good diversity, which actually I didn't add to my profile, but I'm definitely going to add that now. So all in all, I think this book looks like it would be a really good fit for me. Now that's pretty cool if I do say so myself. I think this profile works pretty well, especially if you're unsure if a book would be a good fit for you or not. So now it's your turn. But just a quick heads up, you don't have to use this profile for every single book you're thinking about reading. In fact, a lot of the time it's good to go in without any preconceived notions or thoughts about whether a book would be a good fit or not. Sometimes a little spontaneity is a good thing. But if you do want to use it to make sure that a book is going to be good for you or not, especially if it's like a new one or you're having to pay for it or something, this tool works really well. But I want to know from you, do you plan on doing this audit or have you already done it? If so, please post it in the comments or in my Discord, and a link is in the description of this video because I would really like to see it. And if you haven't done one yet, post in the comments what you think the outcome of yours might be. And if you like this video and want another like it, check out the video on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.